Hey Jordan, excuse me.
Hola,
How's it going?
amazing.
Good.
Welcome to the call. Just give me a few
Thank
moments
you.
to get situated. We're waiting for everyone to come in,
Okay,
and we'll be beginning shortly.
sounds good.
Awesome.
Hey family, the year is almost over. Crazy, right? Let's take the time to reflect on all the greatness as well as those vital life lessons that came about this year. Enjoy the mix. Peace.
You should be in. And both are very similar sides of the same coin, like nurturing and teaching. The mountains are so gorgeous right now. Come on, Louis. All right. Hello, can everyone hear me? If you can hear me, put a one in the chat. And my camera's not on, so let's see. If you can see me, put a two in the chat. If you can hear me, put a one. If you can see me, put a two. I'd like to welcome everyone to Dream Body Academy workshop. This is Christmas Eve for those who celebrate, and December 21st, I'm sorry, 24th, Sunday. So we just passed winter solstice. I see we have Shelley, Christina, and D in the chat, and I got twos and ones from everyone. D, hope you have returned. I know we was on pause for a minute. So yeah, brief introduction for those who not familiar with me, but I'm Jordan the Frugivore, and this is a value call. The main goal today is just to give everyone an opportunity to express, what their vision is, what their goals are, where they are on their journey, and what you'd like help with. And here we can co-create, strategize, mind map, brainstorm beautiful solutions and strategies to help you get to where you want to be, which I'm sure in some way ties into experiencing life within your dream body. And that could be via health or um, lifestyle freedom, whether you want to live a certain way or live in a certain place or have more energy or, yeah, just be experiencing life from your best seated self. So, yeah, last week we had some people on the call, and those people are here, but Yeah, let's start with a couple of brief introductions for those who are new to the call. I mean, everyone actually can do a brief introduction. Just share, obviously, your name, where you're currently living or calling from, and also your hometown. And what's your biggest motivation for actually being on today's call? So let's start with Christina. I think we have some rapport here, and you can set the tone for us. Or I'll start. I'm Jordan. I'm from Jackson, Mississippi, and I was born in Jackson, Mississippi, but I'm currently living in Ecuador in the Sacred Valley of Longevity. What's good, D? I see you've made it in. I was just saying, if you can hear me, type a one in the chat, and if you can see me, type a two in the chat, and I get the thumbs up. Appreciate it. So yeah, I was just saying, this is an opportunity for everyone to bring their questions, bring their vision, their values, and their goals to the table, and get personalized advice and feedback from me. So yeah, I'm Jordan. We're gonna do brief introductions. I'm Jordan, the Frugal. I was born in Jackson, Mississippi, and I spent a lot of time in Atlanta, Georgia, so that's my other home. But I'm currently residing in Ecuador, South America, in the Sacred Valley of Longevity. So the next thing you want to bring is your motivation for being on the call. All right, and my motivation for being here is to actually share and channel my gifts to help others see more clearly and make empowered action towards their ideal life. So I'm here as a servant and as a student, and excited to co-create solutions today. So Christina, let's hear about you. Where are you from? And what's your motivation for being on the call today? And anything else you want to share
Okay.
that's on your heart.
So my name is Christina. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky, but I'm currently living in Ecuador. And today, my motivation for being on this call is to vision map. It's the end of the year, so I think it's a great time to think about things that I want to manifest, or just thinking about goals that I can set for the year, and just being more intentional about how I'm navigating this upcoming year.
Okay, super.
Mhm. Yep.
And I think while we still have your attention, we're also going to ask everyone to share something that they're proud of or that they've accomplished or would like to celebrate themselves for in the past week or the past month, or just anything that comes to mind that you want to recognize and celebrate yourself for. And we also want to recognize and celebrate all the seemingly small accomplishments and wins. We want to pat ourselves on the back for any small incremental progress that we make in our journey. So yeah, it could be based off your last goals in our last conversation, Christina, or just in general what comes to mind in terms of expressing gratitude, and also really thinking about being proud of yourself for actually um, doing something that you are proud of.
Yeah, so I'm proud. This week for the solstice, I fasted on green juice and grapes, and I felt so good, especially by the fifth day. I felt so energized, like I felt like I was floating on a cloud. And I actually went on a hike with a friend, and her and I were walking up this mountain, and I just had so much energy for it. I had so much energy for it. So I'm very proud of myself for staying disciplined throughout the fast, and then ending the fast gently. So yeah, I'm happy about that.
Mm. Ashe, give it up for you. I know what you mean. Feeling great, feeling light, eating fruits, having access to extra levels of energy, and just being so awake for life. It's like kudos to you. All right, so we got D and Shelley. Yeah, brief introduction. Where are you from? Motivation for being on the call, and a recent accomplishment or win or celebration. something you're proud of or just grateful for?
My name is Duncan Hill. Um, I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, reside in Atlanta, and actually right now I'm in Cincinnati visiting family.
Natty natty.
That's right. No. um, so yeah, I also just got back from Huntsville, Alabama. That's where my family is from, visiting my uncle who's sick, so he has pancreatitis, 87 years old, and doing better than he was before. So, but it's still, you know, slow progress. So I guess the best thing I'm proud of is been kind of a challenge, with the holiday being around and stuff like that. But while I was out of town, like I was kind of, well, I'm still even a little bit under the weather now, but I was like, let me remain committed. So I did work out while I was out of town in Huntsville. I didn't do it today. It was Christmas Eve. I may try and do a little walking tomorrow. It's 60 degrees here in Cincinnati, believe it or not. And, just, there's nothing about waiting until the first of the year to get in the mode. You can start getting into the mode early and, start doing what needs to be done to make the transition. Although I haven't been eating, 100% properly, I've been, for the most part, sticking to doing one meal a day. And even when you're doing that with what I was doing before, it's still, very helpful because I was about to go get something to eat before dinner, and I'm glad that I didn't because I'm cool. So, but
Yeah.
we will be back to what I was about 5 years ago here shortly. And I just happened to look at my email and I saw the call. So let me get on this call. It's really going to be thinking I'm full of it. Running around. So I'm going to try and stay on as long as I can because I know you got my back on Morehouse Brothers and I got yours. And we're going to do this thing.
Ashe, brother. Well, thank you for being on the call today. And I just wanted to clarify. You said you was pretty much proud of sticking to your good habits, even though the holidays and traveling has come around. You've actually been more consistent with working out, and the one meal a day thing is actually a nice improvement, a nice habit that you've gotten getting more back into that
Right,
has worked for you in the past and is working for you now. So
right.
that's awesome.
I was on the meal
All right.
plan when I was back in Atlanta, but my meal plan person ain't here, so I kind of got to, work with what I got. But one meal a day, it ain't like I'm getting 50 things. One meal a day is one meal a day. So and sticking to
Huh.
my water and all of that. So, I ain't going to sit here in front like I've been doing the green juice, but we going to get there. We going to get there.
Ashe, Ashe. Super. So we got Imani Ashe in the call. Blessings to you. We got Ryan in the building. So we were just doing brief introductions and everyone's sharing, who they are, where they're from, or where they're calling from. It's also the holidays. So if you're doing something super special around the holidays, you can let us know. And mainly just sharing your motivation or your intention for showing up to the call today, as well as something that you are proud of or grateful for that we can all collectively celebrate with you in that. Yeah. So whoever wants to be next. Christina is gone. Dee is gone. We got Shelley. Shelley, you've been here for a minute, so let the people know who you are.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Shelley. I'm from LA, but I currently live in Atlanta, Georgia. Um, I'm feeling stuck, I don't have a taste for literally anything, whether it's fruits, vegetables, cakes, pies, I don't know, anything. I don't know. I just don't have a taste for anything. So I end up just eating, whatever. So I'm motivated to create new eating habits that I look forward to, and that nourish me, as opposed to, I've been going back and forth from like, I was vegan for like 15 years but I still kept on this weight, which I don't understand why. I was still overweight after my birth of my son, but he's 13 years old now. And so then I went to this paleo diet and I did lose some weight on that, but it just didn't sit well with me because, I was vegan because I didn't feel like the animals needed to die for me to live. So it was hard doing the paleo because it just didn't sit well with my morals, essentially. Um, so what I'm celebrating is I'm celebrating my creativity. I've rebranded my company, new logo. Um, and I just had some new copper dry skin brushes came a couple of days ago. The new labels for my products came. So yeah, I'm celebrating bringing my creativity to life.
Ashay, congratulations on being seated in your creativity and seeing that blossom and flourish before your eyes, seeing some of the fruits of your labors and seeing how creativity can really, pay off in this Babylon world. We doing it out here.
For sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Gratitude.
Okay. And your motivation, you say you really want to have these inspiring meal ideas. You want to be motivated to eat and about what you're going to eat. You're kind of like
Yeah,
stay
like
on.
I want to feel good eating healthy. Like I actually recently did a 14-day juice fast, and well, the first 7 days was juicing, and then after that it was raw food. But then I go back to where I was again, like I'm never motivated to stick with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So we'll talk about that in just a moment. We got a couple more introductions. And also, if you have any questions while things are coming up, feel free to just put that question in the chat. And that way I'll be able to remember it and go back to it when we have a moment, or I can see if it's tying in at any point. So we got Ryan. I think Imani was here or she has left. But Ryan, what's going on, brother?
I'm here too,
And
darling.
Imani. Oh, what's up? Okay, cool. So hey, you're up.
Me?
Yes. What can
Okay.
we celebrate? Where you from, and where can we celebrate? What can we celebrate with you today? And what's your intention and motivation for being here on the call?
Okay. Um, so I was invited by you a little around the time that I started the 31-day raw food cleanse to the school period. Um, and so today I saw that you guys were going, live, and I wanted to tap in. Just to experience the energy and things like that. I am from Rochester, New York, but I was a flight attendant for a little bit, so I end up relocating to Charlotte, where I am now. My name is Imani. I also go by Yemaya or Yemaya, Ashe. So what motivates me? So you're saying like what motivates me, like in general, just all together?
Yeah, however you want to answer it.
What motivates
Or
me
what
is
you're motivated to get out of this call as well.
mm,
Like if you could
um
actually walk away with one benefit or clarity or answer about
mhm.
something with that, what would you get from this call?
It will be just essentially just I I don't have any one thing, it will be essentially whatever spirit has to offer, and then what I choose to take on with that. I believe that God shows up in messages and phone calls and clients, who book with you or just anything like. So it's like whatever shows up, being able to have the discernment to decipher what's abundant and what's not.
I love that. So yes, we affirm and declare and decree that
Mm-hmm.
the message that's for reaches us by way of our reception to it and our
Mm-hmm.
alignment with that vibration. So we just have Ryan here. Are you here, Ryan?
Yeah, I've just been patiently listening.
We always save the best for last.
Well, hopefully I'll do my best, but I don't want to be put too much on a pedestal. But now, basically, what's been going on with me is I'm from New York. Primarily, literally, where I'm living is literally right on the edge of Long Island. What's been going on with me is I've been realizing that the latest two goals that we've talked about, staying away from the market and regulating the internet usage it's been a hit and miss. Sometimes it's worked, sometimes it hasn't. So I have to keep at that, because the fact that it's a challenge means there's more to explore. So I'm just proceeding with that. I don't want to add on anything because I think two is enough. Because I'm beginning to realize if these two are challenges, I can just only imagine what more I can disentangle. As for what I can celebrate, well, I'm thankful at least it hasn't been all bad news. It's been positive. There's been days where I haven't. The other thing I can celebrate is somehow I managed to get through a long shift at work last night from 4 p.m. to midnight. The place where I work recently added a little park, so I was having fun out there. I was walking back and forth, and the highlight of the night was there was a cat that just so happened to be walking around, and I said to the cat, "What are you doing down there?" It's like, "We don't got any snacks for you," And I said, "You're being reported." So I had to have a little bit of humor because it was literally there was nothing going on. It was like so it's one of those jobs where usually I work events. This is one of those situations where there just wasn't a lot going on. So I was just trying to get some humor out of a pretty long night. And also I was overdressed because the funny part was I had assumed I was actually going to be working on an outside post, walking back and forth. No, they gave me the truck. Thankfully, I didn't have to move it. Because I was like, oh, that would be fun. So that's pretty much what's been going on.
Okay. Well, congratulations on, feeling good and making it through a trying work shift, and for also being more consistent with your goals. Yeah, and just really big ups to you for like seeing the positive, and it doesn't sound like you had any resistance to like celebrating yourself and just really like owning up to what you've accomplished and what's ahead of you, what's in the road ahead of you. So I love that. Um, cool. So yeah, let's be efficient with our time. We're about 30 minutes in now, and we're all acquainted. So I know Christina is wants to get clear on her kind of like year ahead vision, sort of clarity, and that's cool. But I remember Shelley actually having some really urgent like stagnation, and like, so I'm really willing to hear more about that, Shelley, and let's see what we can come up with in terms of like what type of food or eating, what's the next food game or eating game that you'll be excited to play, right? And what type of food pellets will be uh, obviously healthy for you, but really enjoying and enticing to your mind, your body, your heart, your spirit, all of that. You got to nourish all them chakras. So yeah, let's hear a little bit more about your where you're at with it, Shelley.
Okay, yeah. So I'm actually looking forward to going back to plant-based diet, and this time like not so much processed food, like the Beyond Burgers and all that stuff to like supplement or whatever. So I'm looking forward to exploring the plant-based diet again without the processed food.
Right. I'm glad you said that, because that's really the first thing that I thought about when you mentioned being like a 15-year vegan eater, but still being aware that you're actually maybe overweight and maybe not at your healthiest ideal weight or body composition. And so, yes, if you were eating any amount of processed food, because honestly, if you can tolerate processed food, like a lot of discipline to just eat it, some part of your biochemical, biointestinal makeup that is still resonating on that frequency of dead food, if that makes sense. So that really means it's about cleansing out of those dead cells and those toxic cells, cleansing those out, and then replenishing and refeeding our healthy gut flora. And there's some really fun and intuitive ways to do that. You got to
Okay.
figure out what works for you with your lifestyle, with your budget, with and with your preferences for food, right? And with where you're at. So be open to eating a different way now than you ever have before, or be
Mhm.
open to eating something now that you thought you had decided was not for you. Be
Got
open
it.
to what it can look like, right? Every moment is being created like perpetually. So cool. No processed food. I would say zero processed food is doable. Um, and
Uh-oh.
what happened in the past, because if we look at what went wrong in the past, we could probably those are easy things we could focus on. So was there exercise in the past times when you was like thriving, you was doing the best you could at a vegan diet? Were you exercising or what?
Yeah, no, definitely. I was, I'm a big time person like in the gym, but my issue is just staying consistent with it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think my optimal weight, like I prefer to be like a size 7, 8, and then I weigh up because I'm 6 feet tall. And I'm about 165, 170 is like the ideal weight for me. But right now I'm 243. So I'm way over my ideal weight.
Mhm.
And
Sure.
it's weighing me down, I think spiritually too, not just physically, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, whether we are aware of it or not, it is happening. So it's nice that you can kind of like have that in the back of your mind, knowing like my actual manifestations are actually a part of this extra weight too.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so yeah, I mean, this program that I have, the Dream Body Blueprint, basically is a well-rounded approach that addresses 7 main components of well-being. One being mindful eating and a healthy diet, and which we'll discuss what that optimal diet can look like. Two will be a movement practice and movement play, and ideally rigorous, intense movement play as often as you can.
Hmm.
So the diet, the movement, we have mindfulness and meditation. So that would be like your stillness practice, your quiet practice, your going internal. And that can include also walks in nature. That can include your eating. You can eat mindfully. That can include your exercise. You can be doing mindful yoga or dance or something like that.
Hmm.
And presence. And that gets into our field. So there's emotional honoring or managing our stress triggers and managing our overall outlook on life. Because then the stress is actually such an important factor, or just the mismanagement of our emotions can honestly be the difference between eating the ideal diet and having the ideal lifestyle and everything on the outside looking crystal clean, perfect, and still not feeling or getting the feelings that we want. So it can be the mismanagement of our emotions or the suffocation of our emotions or just the mismanagement of stress. So, and those solutions can also come from the way that we eat, the way that we move, dancing, creativity, um, art expression, painting, drawing. So, you can be brainstorming on, okay, what are these self-care practices that I actually have been slacking on, things that charge me up and bring me joy and make me like forget about time and stuff like that. Make me forget about food or whatever.
Hmm.
Um, then we go into, like I said, nature therapy and just making sure you're getting enough exposure to the natural elements of sunlight, clean natural water, the being near the ocean, rivers, or the way the waterfall sound. Even having a fountain in your home can make a tremendous difference. Science and studies have proven reducing stress levels for people. Having plants in the house, gardening, things like this. So think about where in your life you can incorporate and slide in more opportunities to connect with nature, barefoot walking, going for hikes, Stone Mountain here in Atlanta or something like that.
Hmm.
Um, and I don't know which number I'm on, but and that's pretty much it. Like then basically self-love and just cultivating like clarity in your vision, your self-image and things like that. So based off everything I said, where do you think there's probably the most lack and the most you've lacked the most attention and could probably use more attention in one of those areas that I mentioned? And let me clear my notes
Um,
just to verify that I listed everything while you think and speak.
sure. So definitely mindful eating and meditation. I'm not meditating at all, which is something that I used to do regularly, but I haven't been doing that as of late.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I used to, because I automatically wake up at like 3 a.m. So that's was my meditation time to get up and do it then. But yeah, I haven't been doing that at all. And then the mindful eating, I know how to do it. It's just I don't do it consistently.
Hmm. Okay. So now you express your main issue was around. So yeah, what's this issue with food? Because you just kind of like are you're not having an appetite? Like I want to dive into that a little more. Like what was your eating like back when you was eating and enjoying food, like most recently? And then what seems to be the experience now?
I mean, right now, I don't only thing I really ever want are like kettle chips. Like I crave chips. I don't know why, but it's been like that for years.
Okay. Okay. I love chips. And
Yeah.
what comes to mind is the sort of Chinese medicine approach or the philosophy that craving means that there is unexpressed aggression. And that's
Mm.
not like a bad thing, but
Mhm.
too. Or maybe is it spicy? I think spicy, I love spicy stuff, and that's a craving for adventure. And I resonate with that I have to keep myself stimulated and exploring and curious, right? But for there's a suppression of what one could not anger necessarily, but aggression. So there's possibly a lack of movement in your life right now with just the way exercise can get that endorphins popping.
Mhm.
Um, so I find a lot of value in actual martial arts training. I mean, the gym
Mm.
is too, like, when it's you in the weight, I mean, you got to get mad at something or
Yeah.
happy about something to really lift it up. But in martial arts, the whole ability to really express, to attack, to really be assertive, right? And then to learn how to dance around and how to defend yourself and having that self confidence and all of that. So, have you ever explored martial arts of any form, or just you said gyms, but what else other than the gym? In terms of how do you like like express intense emotions? Some
So
people
I love to
they don't say
dance.
nothing, but they be moving.
Oh yeah, yeah. I love to dance, and before I bought this
So
house
that's
in Vinings, I was dancing twice a week. But that was at Atlantic Station one on Monday nights, and then in Brookhaven on Wednesday nights. But now it's kind of too far, so I haven't been in a year since I bought this house. So I'm really missing my hip hop dance class.
yeah. Don't you imagine? Sorry, I don't know if you were that energy is like building up and is being cut off and it's suffocating and you need that outlet again. But also that in general, maybe you say your creativity has been expressed through the business now, which is great. But there's
Mhm.
another aspect of your creativity that doesn't have as much of a end goal or an objective, right? Like that
Mhm.
real free stuff, like dancing. There's no winning or losing at the end of the night. It's like, did they play my song and did I turn up to it?
Yeah.
So I would just, play around with those thoughts and make some lists and just being intentional and looking into that. Does that sound like something that could, I know it sounds like it doesn't relate to the chips, but like it's just a sign about our emotions and where we're placing that energy, right?
Mhm.
The other thing is craving the salt and the oil. Like I said, if you're not eating, you're just also malnourished. So you need fats, you need everything. You need carbs, fats, and proteins, right? And then the
Mhm.
salt is a stimulant that makes it addictive and things like that. So in the meantime, you can find a healthy alternative, right? Like plantain chips, the most natural plantain chips you can find. Uh,
Mhm.
if you have a dehydrator at home or even in your oven, just buying some real potatoes and sweet potatoes as well and baking those, or air frying them or whatever. I don't really believe in the air fryers, but if you have one, you can use it for that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I actually really love making the kettle chips in my dehydrator. I mean kettle chips, sorry. Kale chips
Yes, kale chips
in
would be a
my
great alternative.
dehydrator. But again, I know Jordan, I know a lot of what to do. It's just lacking consistency. Like I don't know
Hmm.
why I just can't stick with something and then I just fall
Okay.
off and here I am
So,
super overweight.
okay. This is the last thing we'll touch on, and then we'll
Okay.
circle to if anyone else. Someone else, D was somebody he loved the kettle chips too. He heard crunchy can be related to stress, so that's what he heard. And
I agree.
yeah. So
It's like
with the
comforting.
consistency
It's like,
thing,
oh, it's like the sigh of relief. Once I have it, I just feel better afterwards.
I feel you. So it's emotional eating is at the core, is what the label they would call it, right?
Right.
There's some point, there's some trigger in your experience, and then there's boom, and it's like you actually know how to soothe a particular stimulus by eating the
Right.
chip, and you know exactly, you know, aside from salt and oil and starch, fried starch being addictive, so that's just a drug within itself. So less about the type of drug for now, and even just focusing on like we're filling some sort of void. But like you said, with the consistency, two things come to mind. One is that consistency is relative, and you're not freaking obligated to stick to anyone's plan for anything, even your own.
Mhm.
So I would say being open to what your own evolution looks like and being really centered and embodied in like
Mm.
how are my needs changing? How is my environment changing? And what what changes can I flow into that are changing with the seasons or with my cycle or with my life cycle age, cycles. Like there's a few things we can look into there. I don't personally know where you are in your age or medical history, but it's winter time, and I don't know how long you've been feeling the way. Winter solstice just passed, but it's been getting darker and colder since July.
Yeah, yeah.
Now you're in the South. You're in Atlanta. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So it's not the worst season. I mean, y'all still get a decent sunlight, but so one is just not being hard on yourself, and
Mhm.
two, it's like okay, if you are, it's like why would you not be consistent with something that you're actually enjoying and it's actually benefiting you, right? So
Mhm.
either you're unable to be consistent or you subconsciously self-sabotaging to a way where like really not enjoying the thing that you're doing, even though you tell yourself you should be doing it. So this goes into something we were
Mhm.
talking with Ryan the other day. It's like set goals for yourself that you actually want, like things that you know will feel good after you do them, like, and that you are excited to do them.
Mhm.
Don't make it some arbitrary thing that someone said put on a list as the thing to do. I say exercise, like it's actually about the thing that excites you and sparks joy. We really want to have that point of attraction to move anywhere in our lives. So,
Okay.
Jordan, can I
yeah,
share something really quick?
please.
Yes, Shelley,
Pieces.
similar experience a few months ago.
Mhm.
I was like very big on like the kettle chips. And what helped me was that if I knew I was gonna eat them, I would just make sure I got like some type of coconut water or made some type of juice so that I was focusing on staying hydrated because I knew the chips were gonna dehydrate me.
Mhm.
And so I just made sure that instead of focusing on how I was eating the chips and maybe I didn't want to eat them, um, I just focused on what I desired, which was to feel better in my body and to be hydrated. So I just started again focusing on drinking juices and coconut water. And then another thing when it comes to movement or not being consistent in something, um, I have that, but what I have kind of done to help balance that out for me is to create a life of variety. So, for instance, if I didn't spend focus so much on going go to the gym. I can work out at home. And I didn't have to do a, strenuous workout. I could do yoga, I could do Pilates, I could stretch, I could go for a walk. Just having all of these different options and seeing everything that I'm doing as something that is helping me, because I'm pretty sure like you said, you already know. And when we have that wisdom and that knowing, we act, we act it out, we act out what we know. And sometimes when we're focused on what we're not doing, that's what we see, what we're not doing, rather
Mhm.
what we are doing and where we are at, and focusing on what we do want. So I hope that
Yes.
helps you, because it really helped me, and eventually all those things that I was doing, like eating the chips, it weeded itself out because my focus was on hydration and just feeling good in my body and eating things that were good for me.
Wonderful. That helps a lot. Thank you. I'm gonna write that down.
Ashe, ashe. And so, yeah, that kind of leads me into something we can try out, which is I recommend, I don't know what you might be eating for the holidays or what that looks like for you, but
Hmm.
once the feasting is over, maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, I would try to go straight into like a 7 day maybe juice fast or a week of raw that's like broken up into maybe 3 days on juice, 3 days on fruits, and 3 days like including some salads and stuff. So testing out these different things and actually like Christina was saying, having the variety, so to speak, but not complicating it. So maybe like I said, 3 days can be like whatever your favorite fruit is in season right now. It could be like some grapes or some citrus or some melons, doing 3 days on that and water and tea, or it could be 3 days on just juicy fruits and all the apples, oranges, peaches, pears, nectarines, mangoes, pineapples, papayas, all the stuff that like strawberries, berries, like just go to a fruit place. And like I know Atlanta, so I can send you to a place that's gonna make you salivate. Um,
Hmm.
and well, you'll have good prices and good variety. So, like I said, you can do a week of 7 days of either all liquids for 7 days, or all fruits for 7 days. Um, I would say all raw, but that tends to be complicated for people. And it's just like it's really simple if you just keep it to fruits. And if you need to throw some avocado or something in
Can I
something,
say something, Jordan?
please
Um,
share your
so
heart.
I had started a 31-day raw food cleanse for the collective, and so I guess since today is the 24th, we do have 7 days left. So you were saying, if they wanted to start a 7-day fast after all the feasting, we got 7 days left technically in our 31-day fast, and it's on Telegram if anybody wants to join in. But we did all raw, or most of us did all raw. It's like 23 people in the chat. Um, most of us did all raw. I did mainly all raw. I just started to break it a little bit with like soups as of like the last cool day. I'm sorry, as the last few days. For the last few days, I did break it with some soups. But I've still been just, eating mainly like, raw foods. Other people, they just did like 30 days of fasting from meat, or 30 days fasting from seafood, 30 days just journaling, 30 days meditating that whole time. So, it's available if anybody wants to just, come hop in on the last little go around right before New Year's. But
That'd be
we
cool.
have a lot of people in there who are supportive of one another when it comes to, eating raw, eating vegan, eating plant-based, juicing, smoothies. So they're good peoples,
Mhm.
if anybody, needed help with that.
Yes, I think that's a great idea for someone like Shelley or anyone who's considering doing a detox very soon. That's a really cool opportunity to hop in and piggyback off the momentum of people who have already been 3 weeks into basically a committed fast of some sort from something that's important for them. So there's all these different levels in there, and everyone's being supportive. that could be cool to kind of hop in and be motivated by people who are like, girl, I understood day one was rough, but I'm 24 days in, and like, I'm so glad I did it. So, and you might get some meal ideas. So yeah, you can do all liquids for 7 days, or all fruits for 7 days, or all raw for 7 days. Those are the three I recommend. It's something with no processed food and no cooked food. Um, or you can break up maybe 7 days into three different types of fasts of like 3 days liquid, 3 days mono fruit or fruit, or 3 days raw, so that you're also able to sample all these experiences and you still detoxing regardless by eating all those ways. But you kind of figure out like what seems the most fun. Actually, 3 days on fruit, I felt the most liberated, or really the 3 days where I was just drinking smoothies, that felt good. So I think so that way you can say, look, let me just,
Experiment with what's good for you.
yeah. And then you can say like, let me do that for actually like 21 days as a reset, um, around January or something, or just really taking a moment to like say, okay, I can do this type of fast actually. Like I enjoy this. And doing that 21 to 30 day reset is going to set you up so good for this year. And once you hone in on the diet in 30 days, like don't give it no more energy. Focus on what you want to do right in the rest of your life. I want to dance more, and I want to, you'll have the right. Trust me, that diet foundation, the food's going to create the foundation for a lot of openness and like truth to come through you. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, Shelley, for sharing and bringing that.
Sure.
Yeah. So D, are you what are you working on right now? If you can hear me,
Uh,
D.
yeah, I can hear you. Like I said, just
Or where are you stuck? Where are you finding a little bit of resistance in your path?
well, before I left town, excuse me, I was on a meal plan at Raw Life Yoga. You probably know who he is. So
Oh, he got the
cooking and
good
stuff,
food. You eating good,
yeah,
brother.
cooking for me, So that
And
made it a
Shelley,
lot
if you're in
easier.
Atlanta, by the way, sorry to
Oh,
cut you
you
off. Hold that
good?
thought. Shelley, if you're in Atlanta, you should definitely order some food from Raw Life Yogi. You might find your fix. You can eat juice and fruit all day and have one meal from Raw Life, and
It's like a
that'll do you
seaweed.
good for a week.
It's called Raw Life Yogi.
Yeah, that's his
Yep.
Instagram
And I can
handle.
send me a message on Instagram, and I'll forward that to you.
Okay.
Um,
All right. Thank you.
Have you
yeah.
been to the Chili's in Atlanta?
Oh yeah, I love Cecili's. Yeah, but I know that that's a lot of process. I mean, it's not.
It's
You
not
know,
that
like
clean.
if
It's
I
really
get the
not
punani
detox. It's not
wrapped,
detox food.
yeah, I
It's,
can't.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
It has the vegan
we'll
mayo in it and stuff. I mean, it
we'll
has some
come.
processed stuff in it, but it's still delicious.
Yeah,
I love it.
we'll get in. So we'll break down why Cecili's is not a detox food just after D's story. So yeah, put that in the notebook. Yeah, Maya. So
But that
D,
was,
you was on a meal plan from Raw Life Yogi, so you was living good and on a one meal a day.
yeah. So the biggest thing for me, is it can be a challenge, when you transitioning and you in a place like Atlanta, where you got 5 hours of traffic a day, and I got to come home, and then I got to chop up all of this stuff, and then put this in the juice and everything else, and you know, so even though it may be a little pricey, I guess I don't know. It ain't really pricey. It really kind of work out the same as his prices are reasonable, and then it
Yeah,
takes the thought process out of it. So you
yeah,
have
the convenience.
right.
Peace of
So
mind. You know it's good. It tastes good. It's you're paying money to get it done for you, but you don't have to spend energy and stress on it. So it's actually priceless. That's pretty much
right,
it's a valuable, thing.
and even if you say, well, it's not enough, or I wasn't perfect on it. It was some days where I was like, I want me Cobb salad with no bacon from Chick-fil-A, but I would still get the salad and then I eat my chickpeas and kabocha squash and all of that, and eat it. And, it's still in the grand scheme of things, it's not the worst thing in the world,
For
So
sure.
you gotta, learn how to give yourself grace and say, even though I'm not 100%, you know, 85% is still okay. And so if you can do that, that's what I was doing. It just provides more time for you to, still live your life, and then you don't have to worry about it. Because one thing when you got to worry about what you don't eat, that takes a
Yeah.
lot of energy,
You
and
can't.
that takes stuff away. And then you order from GoPuff, be like, "F it, I'm gonna get these kettle chips," and and all that kind of stuff. And
You
that's
can't
why,
let the invisible vegan police or the raw judge and jury kind of like devil and angel be on your ear. You can't really. You got to
right,
quiet both of those voices and actually just listen to yourself, but
right,
and take account of where you come from and where you're at and where you want to go, and just
mm-hmm,
know like, look, I'm growing at the pace that's good for me,
right,
and I'm cool with that. I'm not. I really am better today than I was yesterday, and if not,
right,
this week was better than last week, and if not,
right,
this year is overall better than last year, and if not,
right,
I got to change something internally because there's nothing
right,
else to blame.
exactly. And it's like, we all, well, I mean, I ain't gonna say we ain't gonna speak for anybody, aspire to be like Jordan, with the diet and all that kind of stuff. But, the thing is that I'm not there, and that's okay. So, my thing is just, finding, because the food thing, if somebody makes it and you pay for it, then you're more likely to go on ahead and eat it. You know what I'm saying? Even
That's
if
it.
you,
Finding your accountability mechanism. We all have
right,
something that can help us be consistent or just do the right thing when we got
right.
a choice.
And I say, even
I
if you
always
go
tell
get,
people, I'm like, just buy a bunch of fruit. If you anything like the average American, you is not about to let all this fruit go to waste. So
right,
you're gonna eat more of it if you buy more. This
right,
the first start. You'll eat the right thing if you buy the right thing.
right. And it's just like, so it's like, one of the ladies on here said, even though I might have some chips, I focus on that. I still may have my fried chicken salad, but I'll
Mhm.
still eat the other food, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, you know, 10 years ago, that still wouldn't have been enough. And I thought, let me go on to get a Chick-fil-A sandwich with the 5 males and all of that kind of stuff. So, it takes time. We've been taught to, clear our plate, all of that kind of stuff. And it's just like you gotta, give yourself some grace and mercy and forgive yourself and don't be so hard on yourself because we are harder, on ourselves than we should be. Because we're not gonna be, Jordan overnight. It took some time. It takes time to get there. The food we got all these chemicals in it. It's like the Fruit Loops here got more chemicals than the Fruit Loops in Europe, so you got to take into account all that kind of stuff that we fighting against here, until you can,
Right.
move or
It's like
even if you don't do it.
honestly, it's like honestly, if you are following someone like me, or if you are who you are, I know each of you have your own journey and your own way that you're working towards being the best that you can be. And honestly, if we're all on this call, we really should be proud of ourselves for waking up to something and taking responsibility that, we got to stop being a victim. Like there's no one else to blame anymore because, there's just like you can even if you're doomed to fail, you can just lie down and take it, or you can actually put up a sort of fight and put forth your best foot when it comes to all these weapons coming against us, these environmental pollutants and toxins and food and all of that. What I've seen happen across the board is that people doing the best they can with what they have from where they're at and just focusing on getting to the next step, just the next thing that'll bump them up one notch. And then from there, you can take on new goals and new challenges. like everyone succeeds. And it's slow and steady. We tend to see people when they're at level 20, but people did they work at levels 1 through 18 and 19, whether that's eating seedless fruit in America in a cold winter place like New York, and doing that for like 30 days or 90 days, and then that having them level up in a way they manifest some new job or career that allows them to live somewhere else, or manifest cheaper availability of the food,
Yeah. And it's just you
or
gotta work.
or like this, you know. Go ahead.
Oh no, I wasn't trying to cut you off. I was like, you just gotta work with what you have, and if you can take one factor out of it, like the thinking process is like for me, I like to cook, and it's like I would love to be able to do all the mushrooms that I see like Turn Up Vegan doing and all of that, but I would stress myself out just thinking about that, trying to go to the store to buy some mushrooms, $50, and it's just like, well, let me just go on over here and spend, $120 for the week, and that takes one thing off of my plate to where I can do something else. Like I've fallen off from kinetic yoga, so it's like if I don't have to think about cooking or making meals, then I can add something else to my plate that I enjoy. Because
That's
we
smart.
have so many goals and we try and do them all at the same time. And you can
Thank
only
you
do
for
one. You can only do
thank you
one thing at a time.
thank you, D, for highlighting something that's really important, I think, for a lot of people to recognize. And this comes up a lot for me and a lot of my clients in business. It's like really learning to outsource and delegate the things that we tend to procrastinate, or the things that we tend to not be excited about. Like, no one's going to give you a pat on the back for being a Mr. Do It All, a hyper independent lone wolf, and burning yourself out. Like, there is no trophy for burnout, right?
Hmm.
And so the best thing you can do is actually open yourself up to seeing the opportunities for collaboration with people, and where you and your gifts have something to share with other people, and where other people in their gifts, where you can really nurture their gifts by supporting them. If they
Hmm.
want to do photography, videography, if they want to make food, it's like, yo, that's their thing. Do that for you. And you invest in yourself knowing that you deserve to allocate your energy somewhere else, and just put your money towards solving the problems that are important for you. It's like high priority, but not high enjoyment for you. You know what I mean?
And I mean, I love to cook, but the fact is that I'm a high school teacher, love Joy High School. And when I get off of work, I'm spent, I'm tired, I'm burnt out. And the last thing I want to do is chop some stuff up. And even if you do mess up, because I done had days where I'm like Angie Stone on Celebrity Weight Loss. Like, I'm gonna eat this corned beef and hash sandwich. I done had days like that, but guess what? The
Yeah,
sun rises tomorrow, and it's a new day. And
it does.
you can always start over, and
Always,
always remember that.
exactly. I
And
always
even if
say
you
this.
have
People
to
people
start
be like,
over
oh,
every day for 6 months, drug dealers and drug addicts and everything else, they've had to start over how many times. So we're not on heroin per se, but we can start over and remember that and give yourself grace and just keep trying. And as that song said, dust yourself off and try again. Just keep pushing, and and just remember you human, and it's gonna take some time. We didn't
it's
get where
overnight.
we at. I'm 47 years old. I didn't come out this way. I was 24 inches long when I was born, but I didn't come out this size, 6'7", you know, 471. And this is after I done lost 220 pounds. I'm still 471. So just keep pushing along. Give yourself grace and mercy. That's what I got to remember. And, like George said, find somebody that can help you get where you need to be. Because even if you can't do a whole week meal plan, see if you can do 4 or 5 days or 3 days, because then that way that eliminates the thinking out of it. My mama didn't cook every day, but she cooked 3 days a week, 2 to 3 days a week, So if you can get somebody to do a meal plan for 3 or 4 days, then you can allow yourself other time to meditate or to, hike or, you know,
Like,
walk
yo,
outside
it's
and
like buy your time back, you
yeah,
know? Buy your time back with
it's
whatever
worth it.
things are whatever things are stealing your time and your energy, you know? It's like, what do we go to work for? We pay bills, but with that other little extra wiggle room that we have, it's like going to the club and spending it on drinks and the drugs and even drug food. It's like, no, put your money towards medicine food and medicinal experiences, nourishing, like things that are going, like, find something new to do this week. Find
But yeah, my biggest goal, like I
this,
said,
right?
is just to,
Find
did I
experiment,
answer the question? Did I answer your
just
question?
whoever it is, because um it's about community and you don't have to figure it out together. Like, that's what this community is about. You could be like, yo, I'm in Atlanta and I need more motivation to exercise body around the same gender as me, same age as me, either virtually on Zoom or we in the same city, we link up and we go exercise together, or we go fruit shopping together, we go walking together, um, we go find some holistic events to attend together. We team up, and put some on, for our city or whatever. So that's what I want to see happen from this particular community. And I see we got a lot of Atlanta people in the call. I know Yemaya be traveling, so she be in Florida, she be Philly based. Um, and we out here. So there's a section in the chat, the group in the school dream body, we're accountability partners, so you can go in there and post what you're working on. Maybe somebody else is working on the same thing. Even if they're not working on the same thing, they're just like, y'all just like, yo, can we just text each other every other day and be like, did you do your thing? Can we call each other every other day and be like, did you do the thing you say you was gonna do? And y'all can like share stories with one another, because some people are really lacking community and like not feeling alone and isolated on this journey. I know a few people who struggle with that on the call, and people who also didn't make it to the call. Um, and it's like, we have an opportunity now to make things work through the internet. And some of these people are travelers. Like this guy, D, you not in your city right now, so you in Cincinnati, and then my guy's always traveling. I'm in Ecuador. Shelley's in Atlanta. Ryan's in New York. But Yemaya's from New York. But was it upstate, not Rochester, and not everybody from New York, not everybody from the city. So some people they be like, "Where the fruit at when I'm not in New York City? Like, what I gotta go to Canada?" So yeah. But does anyone? So we're winding down the call right now. Before we get off, does anyone have any particular vision that that we can all collectively hold together to help you strengthen your vision and manifestation out here for this week? And also, if there's any any lack of clarity, or still just if there's any lingering questions, the floor is now yours. But also time for basically, manifestation, vision, prayer list, and or closing questions. Don't all like answer at once. Like, please take your time.
Well, I mean, as I shared with you before, I shared with the group, it's like, if I'm gonna lose this extra 200 pounds, I might as well see if I can go on and get on the stage somewhere. So it's like my stretch goal is to, get down to, when I came in freshman Morehouse, I was 290. And I was like, shoot. And even back then, I was 6'5". I grew 3 inches. Now I'm 6'8". So I'm like, I get down to 290 or less. I said, let's go on and do the damn thing and get some kind of natural body competition or something, just to keep me motivated. So, I mean, I know it's a stretch, it's a long way off, and that's okay, but that's something that I would, want for myself eventually, and just be as healthy as possible in doing that as well.
Did you say, did I hear you correctly that you thinking about getting into like competitive or aesthetic bodybuilding kind of deal?
Well, I would like to, 'cause it's like if I done lost all this weight, it's like, hell, why not? But I mean, like, natural, not all them shakes and all of that stuff,
Oh, you'll kill it, bro. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm far away from, I got all of that, but mine is, it's got some other layers.
That's
Mine
what I'm
too.
saying, man. You'll have it easier than the small boys trying to pack on the right kind of weight. You already got the
Mhm.
muscles in there. Just gotta like detox away the baggage that we've accumulated. And you got the work ethic, the discipline, the mentality, all that stuff. So I'm definitely holding that vision for you as well, brother. And you know, send me a private message and let me know how we can work together to how I can be of assistance. As you
Sure enough.
already, you're already in touch.
Yeah, for sure.
Jordan, speaking of detox, I mean, you're talking about doing a 7-day raw or juicing. Do it need to be coupled with supplements?
Mm, it depends. I mean, supplements is a wide variety of what people consider supplements, but in terms of like nutritional supplements that are over the counter on the shelf at the health at the pharmacy or supplement store, different types of pills and powders and chemical isolated chemistry, I believe does more harm than good for the average person in the average circumstance. There's extreme cases where things can be helpful, but it's not necessary. It's your money is better spent on more fruit
Okay.
and or there are natural holistic superfoods kind of supplement things that they're not harmful. And even then, when it comes to things like your sea moss and your chlorella and your spirulina, you better off consuming that after you've actually cleansed out your system. You're getting a better bang for your buck. You can be
Hmm.
consuming those superfoods while not detoxing, and it's just helping you not kill yourself as quickly. But you're not getting the full absorption and the benefit and the utilization of those expensive powders and sea vegetables and things like that. That's really the only thing I can really recommend other than something like fruit would be like very high quality marine plants and sea vegetables and phytoplanktons and just green. If it ain't fruit, like and it's green, and it's very fresh and non-toxic, I would say there's usually some benefit to adding that. But at the same time, every time we add and mix stuff together, we create more complex chemistry that overall does take more energy for the body to heal. So in in many cases, doing fruits only would benefit more than doing even fruits and vegetables or fruits and greens or
Got it.
fruits and teas even though teas have their place and have their benefit and herbs and stuff, like you actually making the body have to work with that stuff too and the fruit, and they create different dependencies and stimulation. You just want to take it easy on your body. I would say after that first 7 days of just straight food-based approach, food-based hydration,
Hmm.
see where you're at, and then if you're gonna continue on a really good cleansing regimen, and yeah, I would say think about supplements for the building phase after your deep detoxing is done. Just keep that in mind.
Okay,
You'll
got
absorb
it.
it better and it'll benefit you more. Yeah.
I, I think I told you this, but I'm going to Mexico January 13th. So I think I'm going to start this after I get back.
I recommend that starting the discipline afterwards. But at the same time, I don't know how I can't honestly sit here and justify delaying
Hmm.
living
Mm.
like access to your best life.
Hmm.
So I see the best strategy as you have until the 13th is when you leave, right? So you have at least until like the 10th to take advantage of the ability to prepare for your trip and for detoxing after the trip.
Got it.
Because once again, the better that you take care of yourself, essentially, before the trip, the more likely you are to take care of yourself during the trip and be taken care of.
Got it. Ashe.
So be gentle with yourself, but do some small experiments over the next 2.5 weeks of even just incorporating one more healthy meal per day. As Christina was saying, even if you're gonna have your kettle chips, prioritizing that. Oh, I'm gonna get some fruit servings in this morning, or I'm gonna get some juice. I'm gonna get a couple liters or a gallon or half a gallon of juice in today, or I'm gonna get a blender full of smoothie in today. Or I'm gonna get a really healthy salad that I know is healthy, because I know you know what healthy is, because you know what Cecilia is not. But but I was saying, it's just like just prioritizing the positive, at least one positive thing, to balance the fact that you're going to be less than optimal today. Like I'm probably gonna eat them kettle chips today. So what is the positive things that I can kind of try to balance it out or overshadow that with? Let me have 2 smoothies today, one before the chips, and let me have something for later on, even if it's like a herbal tea to reset my gut before I go to bed, and things like that. So focusing on the one improvement thing that you can do per day, and maybe a couple weeks from now check in and see how much you've relapsed on the actual particular drug vice of choice. That's everybody in the chat. Focus on that one improvement per day.
Ashe, thank you.
Yup. I think we're good. Ryan, anything? What's your conclusion, Ryan? So this week, you mentioned it, yeah, you only have 2 main goals, and we talked about the main goals of actually going to the supermarket less and using internet and technology less. Those are actually a double-sided reflection of an underlying issue, which is the void filling, the space, the idle space and idle time filling, right? So it's like, once again, rather than focusing on what we don't want to do this week, we actually created a list of the things that we want to increase and double down on. So I would say, Ryan, for you, it's really sticking to that list, and however many things from that list you did last week, you got to do at least one more thing that's on the list this week, or 2 more things, or do the same things but more often this week. And as long as we are seeing gradual improvement, there's really nothing to worry about. You can't be like, oh, I'm not getting a solution fast enough. Well, if you hadn't improved at all, you wouldn't be getting no solution at all. So quit being greedy, and just like give yourself grace and enjoy where you are and enjoy the journey. Don't lose focus by over focusing on the destination. That's all I have for today, folks. Send questions and comments to the Dream Body group, the questions or discussion board, or you could DM me if it's private. But the more we share in our community discussion board, the more we're actually healing ourselves through being collectively part of a community, through socializing, trauma bonding a little bit, and success bonding. And also, our problems usually help other people who also are too afraid to share their problems. So I know that people have benefited from what's on the call tonight. I've benefited a lot. I learn every time I talk to y'all. So it's really helps me, motivate me to continue to show up for y'all. And for those who are celebrating the holidays, happy Christmas Eve, happy Christmas tomorrow. And I guess our next call is Sunday. Next Sunday, is that New Year's Eve also? So I guess we'll be linking up
Yes.
New Year's Eve party next week. Okay, cool. So I got to figure out some special way to, like, I don't know. It's just Gregorian New Year, so it's not really a New
Yeah,
Year.
it's. I was gonna say, if I don't mind interrupting, it's going to be a bit of a tricky one for me, because I'll see if I can squeeze in on the video chat that day. But where I'm working, we're gonna have Billy Joel at the arena that night.
Oh,
So yeah, so I'll see if I can maybe take some time away, but I'm probably not gonna be able to stay for
hey,
too
you know
long.
what?
'Cause, yeah.
I'm not even trying to compete with Billy Joel, even though I know it's no competition.
No, no, no,
There's
no,
no
no. It's not a
competition.
problem.
There's no
I like
competition,
being
but I'm
consistent.
also just very happy that you have these amazing options to choose from, So sounds like
Yeah.
you're gonna have an amazing time regardless.
Well,
And if you're
I'll
at the
do what I.
Billy Joel concert, you'll probably not be at the supermarket or your phone. So that actually is in alignment with your goals. And yo, like life's working out for you.
Well, that's the one thing I can say. I'm noticing that usually when I'm working, I'm less likely because I'm like I don't have time. It's like I'm noticing when the time isn't there. But
Awesome.
I realize while that is a helpful resolving it, it's one strategy. Other strategies I have to continue to work on. It's not because that's just one aspect of it, but that's not the
Hey,
only one.
it's just one thing that helps, It's something
Yeah.
like, okay, look, hey, I'm spending too much time on my phone. Let me call the job and see if they got more hours for me. That's cool, man. Like that works. Cause then you have a bigger budget. Then you can go easier on your supermarket limitations and just like, yo, I'm splurging today because whatever. Like have balance, have fun. Life is to be lived.
Don't worry, Jordan. You're gonna get a little more of that too. So.
All right, brother. So yeah, thank you all for sticking around to the end of the call. We are out. I will ohm us out with a few deep breaths because it just seems appropriate. So everybody find a comfortable way to sit or lie down on your back and sit up nice and tall. Feet are flat on the floor. Knees, hips are open. Spine is erect. You're breathing in through your nose, filling your chest and lungs and belly, raising the shoulders as you inhale, and you exhale through the mouth, sighing it out as you relax and drop the shoulders. Take another deep breath in, filling the chest, heart space, and the belly. Hold at the top. Hold your breath. Open the mouth and sigh it out. Relax your jaw. Let out a gentle, audible sigh. One more breath, breathing in for your intention, your collective vision, your manifestation, your power, your beauty, your divinity. Holding at the top, knowing that you are all you need. You are filled with everything that the universe has for you. Exhale, releasing all that does not serve, all resistance, all blockages. Continue breathing now at your own natural pace. If you haven't already, take a moment to check in with your body, with your sensations, giving thanks and gratitude for your existence and the reflection. Gently observing your breath. Is there more ease? Is there more flow? Exploring our body. Is there anywhere that I can let go just a little bit more? Am I holding anything? Am I holding my knees, my shoulders? And just observe it and allow yourself to let go, accept. You are all that you need. You have become all that you need to become. And you are becoming all that you will ever need. We're going to close the call today. with 3 collective ohms together as we crystallize our visions and our manifestations and our ancestral protection in this here and now. So everyone breathe out all the air, empty your lungs, take a deep breath in, and we're just gonna breathe out with no sound, release. One more deep breath, inhale through the nose, hold, and sigh it out. Very nice. The next breath is for Om. Inhale through the nose, exhale Om. Consciously continue breathing. Everyone, do me a favor as you're breathing, open your eyes and unmute yourself. Let's see if we can get this computer to resonate our ohms together. So I don't know if everyone can unmute themselves, if that'll work. Okay, beautiful. All right. Settling back into our comfortable seat, gently closing our eyes. Exhale fully, empty and release. Inhale deeply through the nose. Two more times, guys. Inhale.
That's 6. What's telling me your name?
Last time. Everyone take the biggest breath you've had all day. Inhaling light, love, peace, and prosperity. Exhale for Om. Power of the tongue and the voice. It is so. Aho. Namaste. Ashe. Hotep. Till we meet again.
Ashe. Gratitude. See you time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I will be posting the replay in the Dream Body Academy and